Hey, good afternoon, everyone. As always, we'll give people a couple minutes to join. Got Will here today. And if you have questions, please you can use raise hand, chat, or Q&A, whichever you prefer most. Maybe I shouldn't let you ask questions anonymously. Stop you from doing that. Yeah, go ahead. If you guys have questions, let us know, or let me know. I will be here. A little bit of a small crew today. So if you got any questions, let us know. Anybody got any questions about anything? Let me know. Is it a holiday Monday?
How's the weather in Virginia Beach, Will?
It is quite rainy and windy, sir. How to make sure that in a containerized setup, when a new container is being automatically created, the internal traffic is routed through HTTPS. You want to make sure that all of the settings are in your environment file, which controls or overrides your settings XML. Do we have any of this documented? Anything like well here? Yeah, here you go. Creating an environment list file. Yeah, so decisions based portal URL, for example. So with containers, there's these environment files, and these environment files supersede the settings XML. And anything that is in an environment file, you set the new container up as. So you could spin a new container up with HTTPS if decisions-based portal URL set to HTTPS dot ://support.decisions.com. Particular there. So there looks like there's a list of all the environment files here. You might also have to override the path to the certificate if you're running. Well, you are in container, with the actually this is a great point. Server type, HTTPS variables. Yeah, HTTPS certificate path, decisions enable HTTPS, as well as that plus your decisions-based portal URL are going to be what you'd be looking for here. Those need to be explicitly asserted in your environment file. Does that answer your question? Type answer, cancel. Well, I don't know how to get rid of that now. So it's really all about making sure you're using your environment files to load or launch a container with all of the settings that it needs ahead of time. And so there's this relationship between environment files. Sure. So the question is, can you speak more about data mining process if nobody else has questions? So one of the things is we're getting ready to release a process mining training course in our LMS here in the next 4 weeks, which will let you walk through all of this stuff in detail. But we have, what do we even have on our current site about process mining? Basically, Decisions purchased some technology in the fall of last year. We purchased a company that did process mining, and basically process mining takes, you can think about it as like CSV data. Yes, the course will be free. Yep. Yeah, we don't have any plans to do paid training as of yet. I won't say never, I'll just say not as of yet. But basically it takes in CSV data and it builds up these maps for you, like you see here. Builds up a BPM diagram of the process, and then allows you a bunch of tools to inspect and apply different filters to that process, so you can see what's actually happening. There's this idea of the ideal versus the real process, and then you can either point it at decisions data or point it at some of the connectors that it has, or just any generic CSV data, and it will build out a BPM model for you, and then allow you. It has a ton of features to allow you to inspect that model and look at it in different ways to try to figure out what that process actually looks like. So here you can see this is highlighted based on distribution, and so here you can see that the average the SLA is 1.6 months, 53% occur in that time, right? And then you get the breakdown in terms of distributions here. So then you could drill into the ones that are breaking your SLA and look at the path that those are taking, or what state specifically that they're stuck on. And it's a data analysis tool It has a lot of features to make the analyzing of data easier. Hopefully that helps. And if you'd like, reach out to your customer success manager to get on the list for, when we launch our process mining training. You're going to need this is a separate application that you need to install on the environment running decisions. So you'd need to talk to your customer success manager to get access to this. Yeah, there's a separate, not publicly available installer for this currently. And so your customer success manager can get you access to that. And if you don't know who your customer success manager is, please feel free to email me and I will get you in touch with them. Just Caitlin, I think you're only sending your chats out to hosts and panelists, just a note. I don't think everyone can see those things.
Nice. Nailed it.
Yeah, I always forget to do that too. So just in there, just a helpful reminder.
Thank you.
What else we got today? Things are good in the world.
Looks like we got a question in the chat.
Is there a way to connect to different S3 buckets, like with SQS, by overriding global creds? Oh, that is a solid question. Let me install the AWS module so I can look at the steps really quick. Be sure, I think it's in this, isn't it? So if I look at settings, I got Amazon Web Service settings. So look at that. Really? So integration, Amazon AWS S3. Do we even define a global setting for S3? So put file, list objects, get file, contents, get client, create folder, delete file. Not all of these are so incredibly named, are they? Get file, contents. The region, it sure does. Look at that. You specify region, file name, and bucket name. I don't think we let you do this currently. You should absolutely be able to override these though. Yeah. Yeah, you could add multiple SQS queues, right? Yeah. It's not that you, this is likely just a place where we didn't consider that you might want to override or, have the ability to connect to multiple S3s. This is probably a pretty straightforward feature request for us to take on board. If you want to engage your customer success manager to get this on our roadmap. Yeah, so this is likely just a miss in terms of us thinking about how someone was going to use S3. Can you demo JSON convert to XML? Oh yeah, sure. Well, let's see. JSON example. Okay, well, how about I could do something simpler than that. Here you go. This is really simple. Let's try this. Yeah, we don't really, I wouldn't, don't think about how to convert JSON to XML. Think about how to deserialize JSON, map to a different object that you then yeah. So anyways, here let's do this. So let me create a folder here. So onto XML. This is more of a question about how deserializing and serializing. I'm going to create a data type from JSON. What if the object in question is dynamic? Oh, okay. Well, that's a wonderful clarifying point. Then you have to handle it dynamically, right? Like how dynamic is the object in question? Completely dynamic? Is it one of 4 different variations? You can use XPath. I mean, we have XPath steps. Pretty sure we did at least. Yeah, XPath query. You can use XPath to generic. So we have XPath. You can write XML. You can do query language on XMLs. And if you were to search in JSON, we have a series of steps that together kind of create, it maybe not as wonderfully succinct as XPath. You can get value from JSON by name, right? You can get JSON path from value. get array from JSON by name. What else is there? Get predictions. What the heck is get predictions? SageMaker settings. Interesting. This is one of the AI models, right? SageMaker.
Yeah, this SageMakers is AWS's version of machine learning AI. That was something that was close by our solutions team. Will.
Cool. But we receive JSON object that we want to use query against. That's AWS. Yeah, sure. Well, these steps operate as effectively a query, right? They're not. I mean, I don't know that we have. Is there a version? Is there some JSON-based XPath type scripting language? Is there XPath for JSON? I guess. The XPath. JSON path. XPath for JSON. Cool. This does exist. We do not have this. But we could look to adding JSON, something like JSON path into the product. Without that, you'd have to like use these steps to get value from name. You might use cast. You might try deserializing into like some kind of daisy chain. This approach, but oops. So you might have like JSON deserialize into JSON deserialize as it fails a few times, you could have this type of pattern where you daisy chain through. But it is true that I guess it is a little bit easier to use to look at XML today. Okay, sure. There is actually a convert method in JSON library that you use. Okay, I'm not sure who you are, what you mean by that. Do you want, if you let me know who you are, we could talk about this instead of just asking these questions. At least move these questions into the chat maybe so everyone else can see. If you demand to remain anonymous. What's the convert method in JSON library that you're referring to? Are you talking about like Newtonsoft? Like that Newtonsoft has some sort of conversion thing? You can access the Newtonsoft libraries. Do you know what the name is? So if we look, we can look inside of integration.NET libraries. We can look at Newtonsoft JSON, see if there's a link. JSON convert. So likely, if there's a Newtonsoft method, you could possibly use it, since you can, we expose all of the methods that we integrate with. Xnode ones, Xnode ones. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're asking. If it's in Newtonsoft, you can likely get access to it here. Maybe that's the long and short of it. Ooh, bson. I haven't seen bson in forever. Yeah. To deserialize X node. So is this giving you what you need? Oh, great. Wonderful. Yeah, it'd be wonderful, maybe, and more helpful to everyone else on the call if you would mind asking these in the chat. I think you can ask in the chat. It's probably hard for other people in the session to keep up with what I'm reading out of from the Q&A piece. That'd be maybe a little bit preferable. Anybody else have any questions for us today? We're getting close to our 12:30 normal cutoff as it's. Okay. Anything else? Sort of last call. Righty. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. And I believe we have Cameron tomorrow. Is that true, Caitlin?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have
Thanks,
a great
y'all. Have a good
afternoon.
one.